I have stopped posting on Instagram daily, and this is how it has changed my life. You can imagine that for a blogger, Instagram is always a first choice platform. Everyone is talking about tips and tricks on how to grow on Instagram, how to become popular, how to get an awesome reach. And while I was also looking at all of these tips and tricks and I was posting consistently for 1 year every single day, I got a creative burnout, and this is what we are going to talk about in this video. So I will share my story as to why I decided to kind of quit Instagram, and I will tell you about my creative burnout and some tips on how you can actually prevent it or avoid it or try to get out of it. Hi, my name is Alisa. I am a social media expert, a content creator, and I've been a blogger for the last 6 years. So I have tried various platforms from Instagram, TikTok, podcast to YouTube, and throughout my whole journey I have been posting a lot of content. As I said, at one point I was literally posting on Instagram every single day, and all because some kind of an Instagram guru told that it's what you need to do in order to succeed. And of course I believed, I literally was looking for the newest updates, the newest algorithm tricks, the newest methods how you can grow your following, how you can succeed on Instagram, and nothing was really working for me. So within this year of posting daily, I got 2 big creative burnouts, and I felt tired. I just felt very unmotivated to do any creative stuff. I didn't want to shoot new content. I didn't want to show up on the platform. I was basically burnt out, and this is not the greatest feeling for someone who is working in a creative industry. Becoming an uncreative person is like the worst thing that you can imagine. And at first I didn't even understand that this is a burnout. I thought that it's maybe like some temporary state of affairs, and that in a week I will be back to normal, but I wasn't. It literally took a couple of months for me to realize that something is wrong here and that I need to change it. The problem was that I had this ideal picture in my head of my Instagram success. I was putting these numbers on my yearly mood board. I was even having a list of how many followers a week I need to get in order to get to this big number. And this ideal picture was actually the reason why I felt so uncreative, why I had this lack of joy. Because when you are striving to some ideal, it is only the ideal in your head, right? You are trying to get to one specific point, and you totally forget how to enjoy the process, how great it is actually to just be creative, to come up with new ideas, to create content and put it out there, and maybe it's even valuable and helpful for other people, which is even better. And when you are trying to go to this specific amount of followers, you usually forget this whole processing. And this is what happened to me. So my ideal goal wasn't met, and that made me super upset, because I was comparing myself with other creators who, in my opinion, kind of grew overnight, and I was why do they manage to do it? Why can't I do it? When you are starting to have these thoughts and you can't really find a reason as to why it didn't work out for you, you really start thinking that you are just not meant for it, that the problem is basically you. And as you can imagine, for a person, again, who works in the social media space, thinking that you don't really belong to the social media space was a big problem. And this is where I found myself in the summer of last year. So I couldn't really understand what should I do next. Should I continue posting on Instagram? Should I switch to TikTok completely? Should I do something completely else and maybe don't even do social media at all? And this was the time where I was in the peak of this burnout, and I understood that I need to take action. I need to take ownership of my life, of my decisions, not just in many other spaces, but especially in this one. So I realized that it was a burnout, and of course I started to search online for ways to like cure a burnout. I read a couple of books, I had some psychological sessions, so I really got into this topic, and now I'm really happy that I can also tell you some of the things that helped me. So the problem with burnout is that unfortunately our society praises it too much. So we are praising this like lifestyle where you are always doing something, when you're multitasking, when you're achieving like, I don't know, the greatest goals in your life. I must say that I'm also in this like rabbit hole a little bit, because I have a lot of like life things that are going on. As you have seen in my Sunday vlog, I don't really have much free time, but I also understand that there should be balance, that you should also give yourself grace and give yourself time to not meet your like ideal goals, to leave basically. So when you have a burnout, it basically means that you have this like idealistic expectations and that they don't match with the reality. So it's important to understand that a burnout usually happens in any area of your life when you put yourself into the place where you are trying hard to get to a specific goal and you understand that in reality you still haven't. If you are at the point when you are start feeling uncreative, unmotivated, you feel lack of joy, the things that you love doing do not bring you happiness anymore, you don't really want to be social, you don't want to be around other people, these are all the signs of a possible burnout. But there are some common steps that can help you to get out of it, to avoid it, or even to prevent it, because the best thing that you can do is to take preventive measures in order not to get a burnout. Because when you're at the point like me, when you already have a burnout, it's way more difficult to actually get out of it. So firstly, what you can do is to try to find happiness in the small things. Try to do whatever has brought you joy earlier, like, I don't know, going to a coffee shop and having your coffee. Meeting with friends is a very important part, because this is what people with burnout and depression usually are trying to avoid, like the social connections. So if you can maintain them, then you will be on a really good way. Also, try to find maybe a new hobby, or try to find something else out of your typical routine that you can implement into your life easily. Finally, of course, seek some help. Like, tell your friends, tell your parents, I don't know, go to a medical advisor, and don't really be in this alone. Because when you talk with your parents or with your friends and you say, yeah, I don't know, I think that I'm not worthy of becoming like a big influencer or a big blogger, they are usually the people who can realistically tell you from like another perspective if it's something that you can do or not. And this is not just based on your own like imagination or on your own mind, which is like overthinking it. So these are like the 4 easy steps that you can take. I will leave a couple of books that I've read about like being a creative person and also getting out of a burnout in the description, so don't forget to check them out. Quitting Instagram for me was like fresh air in my life. It really got me a lot of new energy. It got me a lot of new space to create. So I stopped posting daily on Instagram. I even decided that I only post whenever I want to, whenever I feel like it, whenever I want to share a cute picture, whenever I want to talk about something. And I found, for example, that I really want to get back to YouTube because I stopped posting on Instagram, because I stopped to put myself into this one box that everyone else says that I need to put myself in. And now I am so much happier, because I know that I have this like freedom of choice. I can choose myself when I want to do something. Of course, as a blogger, as an influencer, you probably say, yeah, but Alisa, I actually have this like duty of posting. I need to be active in order to, I don't know, in order to get new deals, in order to stay present on the platform. And I will say here that you are actually mixing being active with having points of contact with your audience. So what is a point of contact? It's basically any single action that you are taking that can lead you to this contact with your audience. For example, when you answer a comment, it is a point of contact. When you post a content, it's a point of contact. When you post a story and it is like engaging, or it is a story about yourself, it's also a point of contact. So the point here is that you do not need to only invest into this like one point of contact, which is to create content and to post it, right? You can also try to switch your focus on commenting more, commenting on other pages, commenting on your page, or like I did it, you can switch your focus to being active and present in stories, because this is the only thing on Instagram that I actually really enjoy. This is like a safe space where I only have myself and no one else will have like any access to it. So I like to stay active there because I can share my daily life and I can again engage with my community there. So when you are a blogger or an influencer, then try to balance this like different types of points of contact. So I wanted this video to be a little bit more personal, because this is a topic that I really think is super important to talk about, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. And when you have a person in your, I don't know, circle who is maybe struggling with burnout, then definitely send this video over to them. Also, don't forget to give me a like and to follow me, and we see each other in the next video. Bye!